I wanted to go through the Alibaba console with you so that you can kind of see what we see as we kind of go into this, right? So when you log into Alibaba Cloud, you basically will land here. Once you've logged in, you'll land into a thing where you can go and pick your language, right? Whatever language they support, and all that other process and anything else. You can go whichever way you want to go. But the thing to do is really just to go ahead and click on console. So once you get to the console, it will actually go ahead and take you in, and it will kind of show you where you left off, where you've been, what you've done, and where you go. So the big thing to kind of take a look at is, how your security, and then how you're working with your resource alerts. Most recently used products, and then where you can also take a look at other services and other things as you go through it. The big thing is to, if you click on the little three lines here, you'll actually see all of the services that Alibaba has. So if you go into doing something, like say you wanted to do some traffic security, you wanted to go check out your anti-denial of service bit, what they promise and what they deliver on. You can kind of see what your attacks look like, any loss, anything else coming in. They do it in CNY, which is Chinese yuan. So do check at that. So it's coming soon. But you can kind of go through this and all the rest of it and kind of take a look at it, kind of see where you're going with your monitoring, or any other things that you kind of do with it. If you've bought Pro, if you've bought Premium, Game Shield, how to choose all your stuff. And then if you ever get lost and you're kind of wondering where you're going, you can just click back on Workbench. And Workbench will take you right back to the front of your entire thing. So you can actually go through then take a look at what you've got. And then go on to something else. So if you wanted to check out and see your cloud monitor, and it will go ahead and take you into the cloud monitoring process. So you can actually go through and watch this page load. Some pages load better, some pages load a little bit slower. Anything that requires a dynamic back order or back pull on a database will always have a slower load. It's just kind of the way it goes, but it will pull in by your application groups. So if you have a group that's like a database or your resource pool or your other application grouping, it also will pull in your containers. Right, so if you do containers, if you do tags, we'll go over tags as you go through this, because tags is important for learning how to manage your resources. Going in, seeing any hosts, any events you've got going on, anything else. Again, I've got nothing working, so anything else you want to do. If you want to make some custom monitor rules, you can actually go ahead and set up how you want to do data reporting. So this is going to be fun when we get there. And again, if you ever get lost, you can always click on Workbench. Some of those pages, though, again, they open up in separate pages, so you can actually go through and pull other things along the way and just kind of go through and take a look at what you've got. But that's essentially the entire interface. It looks remarkably similar to other systems, whether that's Amazon or Google or Azure. So once you get used to this, you're going to be comfortable in just about any of these systems as you kind of go through. So this is a really good way of learning how to use the whole process. So I do have AdBlock installed on my browser. So sometimes you'll see things like this, right? Such as you'll see things like created clusters not visible. And I definitely do have an AdBlock on. So it may be a good idea to go ahead and use profiles. And in that profiling process, go ahead and you make a specific profile for Alibaba Cloud as you kind of go through this, because generally I tend to run around with an ad blocker on, and I am thankful that I do. So if it's going to cause performance issues, you can always just do a different profile, make a new profile in your Chrome or in your Firefox, and then just use that for your Alibaba Cloud. And do whatever they need to do to have you either doing their bit on this, so that you can actually see all the other things. New version, so if you want to check out new stuff, they'll sometimes put neat things up here. And again, if you need to go back home, you can always just go ahead and click on the Workbench and it will take you back there. But that's essentially the entire process, right? Workbench will always take you home. Resource alerts, safety monitors, what you've got going. I don't have any SSL certificates configured or anything else. But it'll take you back to the last place that you were. You can see that I was actually been playing around with some container services earlier. If you need to have a full list of all of the services, click on the three lines and you can pull up all the things that you need to do. and then go ahead. Some pages will take longer to load. If you have something that has dynamic data going on in the background, you'll have a slower load on that page. But otherwise, it's all pretty much what you've got. Looking forward to kind of going through this with you and pulling up on how to do domain names, how to pull other things along the way, doing custom data, and all the rest of it. And again, Workbench takes you home. That will take you anywhere you want to go. So that's just the Alibaba interface. That's how it looks. That's how you run through it. And that's all there really is to it. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Thanks much. Glad you made it to this lecture. I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.